so somebody who you said being your best friend.
Yeah.
What did you say to somebody who says, how can I be a best friend to somebody I hate?
Woo. Well, first of all,
Because I
you
think
gotta get
that's where a
rid of
lot of
that.
times people start.
Oh
They hate
yeah.
themselves.
I even
And
thought it was humble to hate myself. I really did.
mm,
I really thought it was humble. Yeah, no, you cannot hate yourself. You cannot. You cannot. And the reason why I hated myself is because I looked at all my mistakes. I looked at all the things I was doing wrong, and I was looking at all the cycles I was doing, and everything I was doing wrong. That's what I focused on. So yeah, I hated myself. That didn't feel good, obviously. And I don't hate anybody else. So why am I hating myself? So first you have to
it might be
learn.
because it's easy to hate you.
It
You see
is.
all
It's
the
so easy.
reasons to hate yourself
Who's gonna
for.
correct me? I'm in my head sitting here telling me
Yeah.
I hate myself. Who's gonna correct me?
And you see all the mistakes you do,
Oh, everything.
especially with
You
these
see everything.
glasses of nobody likes me and all this. So you actually see
Right.
even more than there might actually be. The reason why I'm asking is because I also was at the place where, I don't know, hate is a really strong word.
Well, I
But
did hate myself though. I really did.
yeah,
Hmm.
it's so weird because for me, it's even hard to remember that time. Now that I have grown like so much, it's like, how do I actually feel? I know that I didn't like myself, and many things that I wanted to do to change myself was either from like I don't have that like maybe rage in me. I have more of because
Oh
that's one of
yeah.
the things that I learned. I can't be angry, you know. Um,
Oh boy.
yeah. But for me it was a lot of like shame, guilt, probably hate as
Hmm.
well because I would beat myself up a lot.
Yeah.
Even though technically I had no reason. Like if I now when I look back, I'm like, whoa, I was like quite impressive kid. But I would still find reasons to beat myself up. And from that place, it's really hard to change or improve because you keep going in circles. Because if your
Yeah.
reason to change is because you hate yourself, it's really hard to sustain that because it's kind of based on really negative emotion.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the reason why I'm asking this because I know that there might be people who are going through this where it makes sense. Sure, I need to be like my best friend and all that, but how can I do that when I hate myself and I don't even know how loving myself looks like? It's like it's so hard to imagine because you have hated yourself pretty much like all the time that you remember yourself. It's like how do I even change that? How do I not hate myself? Um,
Yeah.
and
I mean,
like where do you start?
you know what? The first thing that comes to my mind is, like I said, I was focusing on all the things I was doing wrong and all the reasons to hate myself. You need to start looking for reasons to like yourself. You need to
And give
start.
yourself those reasons as well.
Exactly. I mean, this is where self-awareness comes in, because you're going to have to, it's going to be dissecting your day. And you need to give yourself kudos when you do something right. If you went and cleaned the kitchen, give yourself a kudos. You
Yeah.
know, it starts small. Again, those baby steps. And it's going to feel awkward. It's not going to feel okay. Don't go by your feelings.
Yeah, it feels really
Give
cringe in the
yourself kudos.
beginning.
And I literally do this. Good job. Good job, Lisa. I'm proud of you. I literally
Yeah.
do that now. Literally, I'll hug myself. Good
Yeah.
job. I give myself a kudos.
And
And
anybody
it
listening who is at the
it's gonna be
beginning of
weird.
doing that, so weird. It's
It's so, but it works.
over time it works.
It does.
But I think in the beginning you're like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
One thing
You'll
that
have an
can
attitude.
help, yeah, one thing that can help that came to my mind was so that's why I said there's two things. One is you look for what you're doing good already. So it can be literally as simple as the things that you said, like I made my bed,
Yeah.
I show up, I even have a job, I show up to work on time,
Right.
I do what I had to do at the work or stuff like that. I made myself breakfast, whatever. Um, and then what you can do on top of that, start to look for things how you can do something good or do something
Yeah.
that would make yourself feel good at okay,
Yes.
I am the person that is worthy of this or that. And it doesn't have to be something big.
No.
One thing that's super helpful is like baby steps that I always talk about. It can be
Mm-hmm.
literally as small as that simple thing as making bed. Imagine if you made bed 30 days in a row, every single day. It takes you like, it doesn't take that long.
No. No.
But if you now see and know that I did something like 30 days, even if some days you forget, even then you still gonna do it way more than you would have before if you didn't do that.
Mhm.
And you do that enough times, you start to see that, wow, I actually get a lot of things done.
Right.
Regardless of how
Journaling
big or
helps too.
small. Yeah, journaling also, it can be dangerous as well. When you start to see all the things that are like showing up that you need to work on, but it helps a lot even to understand yourself, which initially you might not like things that you become aware of, but they're really helpful. But so those two things, like finding, doesn't have to be big again, just finding things that you're doing well already, and then looking for things that you could start doing and start doing those, but don't make them like huge. Make them like
baby steps.
really tiny. And then from there you will start to see, and you slowly start to train yourself to focus on the positives. And at some point you will start to think like, why did I even focus on that? It's not even there anymore.
Right. Because what I was going to say too is, because what's happened is you're in a negative mindset, right?
Yeah.
And so these are two positive things, and there's one more. And this one is really critical, and it's being grateful. And it is looking in addition to things to be grateful for. And it can be, I woke up this morning. I woke up in a comfortable bed or in a bed. I'm able to take a shower. I'm able to make a meal. So there are things to be grateful for, and having a grateful heart will change your mindset, and you will start seeing the positive things. Because once the problem with negative is it doesn't take long to get there, and it can get you stuck. And there's no good thing that's going to come out of a negative mindset. And it starts real small, of starting to complain or whatever. And next thing you know, everything's negative. So having a grateful heart. And I say this stuff out loud, like, I don't care. I'm alone. I don't care. And I'll just be like, I am so grateful that I get to do this podcast. I am so thankful for this, And so that's another really key that's going to switch that mindset. It's going to take time, and you're going to slip back, but just keep moving forward.